I've got Lucy still relaxing in my lap here just below the camera shot, and she's just really relaxed and comfortable. And what a good world it is that we live in. I was talking about this to a good friend earlier today, saying how it's a good world, and they were looking at me a bit suspect, going, really? Is it really a good world? With all of the sicknesses and diseases and viruses going around and troubles and problems. And I was saying, yeah, it is a good world. When we get our perspective, when we really train in the science of the mind and get a good attitude, then we can truly say that this is a good world. Just like we can say that we're good people, all people are good, and that it's a good planet, that it's good communities, that there's so many good things in this life. And I was explaining it to my good friend there, what the rationale was behind this, what the understanding was. Just to say that if you've got a garden there, it can be in disrepair, it can be trashed, we can bulldoze it, it can be an empty lot full of just trash and debris and garbage and rubbish. We can do that with our garden. And that's what happens if we don't care about our garden, if there's a lack of care. But as soon as we start caring for it and supporting it and nourishing it and planting seeds and fertilizing the soil and building it up, working on it, caring for it, looking after it, it starts bouncing back. And we realize that after we've invested in that for a long enough time, we realize, wow, it really was a good garden. It always had that potential there to be a good garden. And I was saying that our whole good Mother Earth has that potential. We've got a lot of troubles going around the planet at the moment, but we got that potential there, that it is a good world, it is a good planet, and when we care about it, we can create it, make it beautiful, look after this wonderful garden, this huge garden that we've got here, and make it a lot more heavenly than what it is. And this is one of the big aims that I have with the Science of the Mind, is to make your internal world, one by one, each one of you people, make you happier, make you care about you, build you up, make it a fertile place where your happiness grows and your abundance grows, and then share it with other people and share it all around the planet. And we can make this a good world, and that it actually is a good world. So I was saying to my good friend that, hey, we could look at the garden, we could look at the world and say that it's bad. It'd be too easy to look at a person and say that they're bad just because they haven't received enough care. But I was asking, is that really fair on you? Is that really fair on any other person? Just because you haven't received the education, the support that you needed to really thrive and take off in life. How can we really say that? It's clear to me, it's obvious that the truth is there, that you're all good and that the world is good, and we just got to activate this potential, make it happen, and spread the care. I was making a comment to another good friend of mine that the people are there, like our army of good people is out there. As soon as we learn to be non-violent and caring and let our hearts shine out, we activate this enormous wealth, and that each one of us is each other's wealth. And I was talking to my best friend Ian over in Hong Kong recently, and he was telling me what a good mood he was in, how happy he is, and he's been training in the Science of the Mind, reading the blog, watching a bit of the videos, I think, as well, reading the book, and saying how he's getting positive and how good it feels, and sharing that with his family members and sharing that with everybody, even at work. And I was saying, fantastic, this is what we can do. The resources and the potentials are all there within us. We just need to activate it and train it and educate ourselves in it. So the education helps us to activate our potentials. And how could it be fair to judge a person who's not had education and say that they're bad just because they didn't receive the education that they needed, the correct understandings? Or how could it be fair to judge a sick person? Another good friend was telling me that there's someone at their work who other people judge them as being the worst person, terrible. They're so negative. But my good friend has been chatting to me and was saying, well, they're just sick. And they can see that, and they go up and give hugs and pats, and they speak kindly to that person, and that person loves my good friend and really appreciates him. So we can see how the goodness is just there waiting, just lying there, latent potential, just waiting to burst out and share it with each other, is the goodness of our good true hearts. And the science of the mind is here to help train it, help grow it, like a mental fitness training of love and caring, and training ourselves, like in terms of conditioning ourselves, like how we train, like beautiful Lucy here, like how we could train our dog to, not to urinate in the house, and make it. It's always a good dog. It's never a bad dog, even if it urinates in the house. It's just learning. It just needs a bit more training there, and just training in the sense of that fitness and education, and training in so many different ways. I'm realizing the science of the mind is here to train us and make us happier, make us better people, warmer people, and share more, and make sure that we share it.